One Lord, one faith, one baptism. Until we all attain to the oneness of the faith and the accurate knowledge of the Son of God, to be a full-grown man, attaining the measure of stature that belongs to the fullness of the Christ. A lot of religions out there. How can you tell which one is the correct religion? How do you know? Does anybody know? If all these different denominations and the so-called Christianity or Christian, or whatever you want to call it, they always say that everyone else is wrong. They might not come out and flat out say it like some fundamentalists do. And you look at the Muslim faith and the Judaism and Hinduism and Buddhism and all sorts of non-denominational. Which religion is the true faith? You can never really go by which is the true faith. By what someone says is the true faith. So which is it? How come God doesn't come down and clarify it? You ever think about that? As someone that's been in religion, if you watch my video right now, maybe perhaps never been a religious person, but maybe you are, or maybe you used to be and you're not, and you're getting back into it, or whatever. Or if you're going to a church or whatnot, how can you tell? You know? Well, I'd like to share some scriptures with you. I got a lot of scriptures I went over, and I really wanted to read a few of them. And perhaps if you were in a controlled fundamentalist religion, the previous one that I was in, not the one I was born in. So I was born in Catholic, and I just assumed that, hey, it was probably the truth, because there was individuals in the congregation, or my congregation, that said, hey, the Catholic Church is the only way to truth and the only way to salvation. Yet the Baptists said that there was their version was the only way to salvation. And every religion does that, and that's just the funny thing about it is, you can I'll first go to John, the book of John 8:31 and 32. And any religion can insert this into their narrative. It says, then Jesus went on to say to the Jews who had believed in him, if you remain in my word, you really are my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And certainly there's fundamentalist religions out there that will say that certain fundamentalist religions out there always sit there and say that they're the only correct one. Their version's the correct one because they can follow verses in the Bible, but they disprove themselves by their works. Even the fundamentalists that point the finger at other religions say they're Christendom and they're wrong, and they can't even get it right. They don't have God's backing. They're self-appointed, and they can say that they're the only true faith when it clearly even says in the Bible, Matthew 23:15. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you travel over sea and dry land to make one proselyte, and then when he becomes one, you make him a subject for Gehenna twice as much so as yourself. Does that sound familiar? If you say no, then you're not being honest. Luke 21:8. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. If you say no to that, then you're not being honest. Luke 21:8. He said, look out that you are not misled, for many will come on the basis of my name, saying, I am he, and the due time is near. Do not go after them. Sound familiar? Deuteronomy 18:20-22. If any prophet presumptuously speaks a word in my name, that I do not command him to speak, or speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet must die. However, you may say in your heart, how will we know that Jehovah has not spoken the word? When the prophet speaks in the name of Jehovah, and the word is not fulfilled, or does not come true, then Jehovah will not speak that word. That prophet spoke it presumptuously. You should not fear him. You should not fear him. There are certain religions that like to include Matthew 24:14, but I'll read it, and then let's examine it. It says, "In this good news of the kingdom we preach in all the inhabited earth for a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come." This good news of being destroyed if you don't accept the magazine? No, it's good news of Jesus Christ it's talking about. And some religions like to think they are doing this. Even in the Seventh-day Adventists, they'll say in their 3 ABN that they're doing this by having all the 3 ABNs all over the world broadcast to everyone across the globe, and even China. So they got more evidence of Matthew 24:14 than anything. So they're not even, a lot of these organizations are not even preaching all the inhabited earth. God's word says all the inhabited earth. So it's just food for thought. Think about it. Be honest with yourself. Just using critical thinking. Some religions out there, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm totally right on this subject. I might be wrong, and I'll be wrong. I'll be destroyed. Thanks. It is what it is. But just saying. Tell me what you think if you come across this video. Thank you.